So, hello everybody, and welcome back to Simulation Section. It's me and more Central, otherwise known as Simulation Section on this channel, where we look at OMSI 2, the bus simulator, and train simulator for trains. It's always good saying train sim because it's quite self-explanatory. OMSI, I always feel like there should be an explanation because those people who haven't heard of OMSI before, it's quite a random name for a bus sim. There is meaning behind it, but with all the add-ons and bits that we've got nowadays, it's definitely not what the game was initially intended to be. So you joined me back in the Adstow project. I thought we'd revisit once again. We've sort of done a few other routes and bits like that on here, and I thought we'd do one last video on here, and we'll probably take a little bit of a break, and then we'll come back and revisit it soon. But I was looking through the reprints and bits like that that have been released recently, and this one caught my eye. Hulleys by High Peak buses. Now, I have been incredibly lucky to know quite a lot of folk involved in the reincarnation of Hulleys into the Hulleys by High Peak buses. I'm very good friends with a lot of the people that helped to run it and helped to organise it, and I'm friends with quite a lot of my ex-colleagues who I worked with at the original Hulleys of Adstow, who now work at Hulleys by High Peak. I have been around their depot, I've travelled on their buses, I've done network reviews, a full depot overview as well, because I showed you all the work that had been done to the depot that were really cool, and that was heavily supported by Centrebus themselves, who supported the filming of that video and the release of it. That was really cool. So when I saw the repaint pack had come out for Hulleys by High Peak buses, I thought, well, that's a no-brainer, we're going to take a look at that. And in this video we are going to be taking a drive on 907, the school bus service from the town centre to the school. The destination is loaded up for the school, but for some reason isn't changing to the school. I'm hoping that the passengers are going to get on, because it's better running at least the town centre rather than no blind at all. I don't quite know why the school blind isn't working, so my apologies for that. I might have a little toggle if no one gets on. But for now, this is a really short service, about a 17-minute route, probably take a bit quicker than that, to get us from here to the school. I thought we'd do it this way because the last run that we did on the school bus network was the 663 we started at the school, so I thought this way it's a little bit different. So this is the sweet and simple town centre to school run. So we will get our machine set up, excellent stuff, and we are on stand number 3, so let's see if anybody does actually get on the bus. Otherwise I've got to have a little toggle about and see if we can get little bits and bobs working with this. That is always fun. So that's the Fausch route. Unless no one wants it, that is also a possibility. I'm going to see if this makes a difference, if I actually click on it. Unless genuinely no one is bothered, that is also a possibility here, and that no one is actually bothered at all. I haven't sort of put that thought process through yet, but there is a chance that no one's fussed, so... On that note, we will just pull out, because, yeah, we'll make our way to the school. If no one gets on, no one gets on, at least we're here. So we're driving 5209, which is YX75 kVU. It is a 10.8 metre Enviro 200 MMC that features in the very, very nice blue and cream Hulleys by High Peak colours. Really, really nice livery. So they have 4 of these in total, one of which is a 25 plate, which is 5207. The rest of them are 75 plates, which is 5208, 9 and 10, which have been modelled, I believe, I want to say 07, I think it's 07, 9 and 10 that are modelled within this pack. And 10 slightly different as it has a slightly different cluster at the front, a slight sort of difference with that, but the other two are pretty similar. There is 5207 with it being from a different batch as the rest, has a slightly different interior, is also probably the least popular out of them all. Speaking to friends of mine, and they all like driving the more modern ones. But these are all 10.8 metre vehicles. There is also 5212, which in recent times has been repainted for use on the 271 and 2. I'm hoping by the time this video comes out that has now received branding for the 271 and 2. That is currently the plan at the time that I film this, for that to get its branding. I believe at the time that I'm speaking, that should have just been branded if everything has gone to plan. But again, things can change. No one going to... I'm gonna just reset this and see if it makes a difference. There we go. It makes a difference. I don't know if we're gonna have a blind on or not, but they're getting on. That's what matters. There we go, and then let's go. So, for some reason, the blind isn't showing, but we can live with that as long as we do the run. We started off with a blind, so we can live with that. We can manage as long as we actually have people on. I don't quite know what's going on with the HOF files at the moment. It's a bit odd. I am very thankful that I actually got this bus to work. That was really nice. There's a bit of an issue at the moment with the 10.8 meter variation and actually getting it to work. There's a bit of a problem with it. The 10.8 meter version that's available on the Fellas Film forums is actually broken. So the one that Clocross made, that one is broken, unfortunately, because Master Switch Studios, I believe it was, have updated their font files, and it relies on those font files to work. So if you try and download that, it won't work. However, I was reading on the forums after really trying to get this to work, and just having no luck whatsoever, of trying to get it to work. And I read that the Lincolnshire version 4 does actually come with a 10.8 meter version that uses the Kruger displays that are a bit more commonly accessible. So that's why we've ended up with this. So it does use those displays, which means I assume I don't know why it's playing up today, so my apologies for that. It just seems like all the school runs we've done, they just don't seem to want to work properly. It works in the other direction, but we've sort of committed to the cause now. So I don't really know what else to do with it, but I mean, let's see if... See if it makes a difference. Well, I doubt it will. So basically, if you download Lincolnshire version 4, if you haven't already, or re-download it, and you literally just put in the font and the vehicle files you will get the 10.8 meter that works. So that's the way that you get the 10.8 meter to work now if you don't have it already. Is you use those files.
I can't believe they let you loose with this bus.
Round the roundabout, a bit quick to morning. Just here, we're also late that I wasn't expecting to be in this run, I'm going to be entirely honest. All the faffing about with the destination line, that's what that is. It's just annoying because in the opposite direction it works, but for some reason in this direction it doesn't work. It's really annoying. I don't quite understand why. I mean, we could try the 906 blind, see if that works, possibly. I don't quite know what's going on, I don't quite know why. But we're vibing, we're here. There was a blind in at the beginning, you see that the blinds work, I don't quite know why. The bus has decided it just doesn't want this blind to work. So my apologies for those that wanted a working blind. I am just as annoyed as you. It's just decided it doesn't want to work. So, putting that aside, as I said, this repaint pack has the 3 vehicles. 5212 that was initially part of the 199 batch. God, we're really late. Initially part of the 199 batch, or the couple that arrived for that. That is a slightly longer one. That's an 11.5 metre, I believe. It's also got a beefier engine in it. It's got the 6-pot engine in. So that one does tend to go a bit quicker. It is going to be the permanent allocation on the 271 and 2. I have been asked to go over and film it, so there will probably be a video on that at some point soon. It'll be an excuse to travel with the new Hulleys again. I always love an excuse to have a little travel on their buses. I really do. I do need to go back down the Crouch network. I do need to have a few days exploring around there. That is on the to-do list. Although I say that, I think it might actually be... Oh no, it is tracking out. I thought then it might actually be the stops are not picking up properly for some reason. I've missed one, but... No, they are working. I'm just really late. Really late on the score run. Absolutely typical.
Can you turn the heating up, please? Hi.
It's fine. Manage, you've only got it for 5 minutes. So yeah, if you download Lincolnshire version 4, it comes with a working variation of the 10.8 bus, 10.8 metre variation. It works, so that's what I'm going to link as for the bus. Just that. Highly recommend going through that route, otherwise it won't work, because I've spent a few evenings recently trying to get it to work to actually get to this point. What I would really like to see, because I know that the Hulleys by High Peak are running a couple of solo SRs out of Basel at the moment for the Ashbourne, Belpron, Ashbourne Derby runs. And what would be really nice to see is one of them painted into the blue and cream. I think that would be really satisfying. They've got really nice modern fleet there, really like properly new modern vehicles. Lots of investment, unlike some other firms in the Peak District and the surrounding North Derbyshire areas. Some do like their old vehicles, but having a new fleet of buses, this new image, brand new modern vehicles that are less likely to break down, really does make a difference. Really, really does in today's industry. So, really modern fleet. I think the oldest bus that runs out of the depot on a regular basis is a 25 plate. So that I think says everything you need to know. It's unusual to have anything older running out of there. But the Crouch network is also a cracking set of routes, as you saw in that video. Do go and check out my video when I did the network review with them. I did a run from Matlock to Alfreton and then went on a different service back from Alfreton to Matlock. 2 contrasting bus routes. Bit of variety of scenery on both, going through the different villages. One was the express to Alfreton, the quicker route, the 143, and then we went back on the 140 that goes through Crouch. Really lovely routes, really nice, really lovely buses, plenty of time, so they're always driven really nice and steady. You're not sort of being chucked about the place. Professional drivers, just what you want in a what you want when you're jumping on the bus as a passenger. So, and it's really nice to have these repaints now. In OMSI, these I did find on the Fellas Film forums. I will link in the description below so you can enjoy them yourselves. But yeah, they're just nice. But when I saw these, I thought, yeah, we'll give that a crack, because obviously I don't drive for the new Hulleys at the moment. I don't drive for them. But it'd be nice to go back to Basel. It's not something it's not something I'm ruling out. I will be honest, it's not something I'm ruling out. But for now, it's nice to be able to virtually drive the new Hulleys, sort of have that reminiscent of Hulleys stuff. I mean, we did have our MMCs at Hulleys. It would be quite nice to see them replicated in OMSI. If we're doing the new Hulleys livery, it would be nice to see the yellow and blue that they were in as well. Because I have some really good memories with them. I was the regular late drive at one point, so I used to drive a lot on the 55s on the night, because they were our regular vehicles that we used to have, our regular allocation. 7532 was the bus I pretty much had most evenings. It was very unusual that I didn't drive that bus on an evening. I think there was only like 1 or 2 occasions I had a different MMC on a night. It was usually that one. So I used to drive them every evening pretty much. They were very much my staple diet. vehicles. So the only thing that is slightly out with this, because these are the 75 plates, these do have the modern steering wheel that you don't find, that we don't have in OMSI 2 yet. So these in real life do have the modern steering wheels on them, the modern dashboard. Pretty much the only difference on the modern dashboard is the steering wheel, pretty much. Although, as I do say that, I do also have to remember that the speedometer and the rev counter are also automated. So no, I do tell a lie. There is actually a lot of changes with the dash on these. Because this is the older style, original MMC dash. And even on the later dashboards that had the older steering wheel, they still have a full electronic screen. So the speedometer and the rev counter are all on the electronic screen. This, as you can see, they're still their own separate gauges. So my apologies for that, but yes, it is. They do have the full new dashboard in contrast to this. Now, the ones that we had at Hulleys, bar 7530, the other three that we had, the other four that we had, including number one, although number one had the much older style of this, so number one, the white one, had this on it. The other three that we got, the 74 plates, they had the steering wheel like this. However, they had the newer dash, but 30 had the newer steering wheel and the new dash. So they were all sort of done through a transitional period is when they were made. But these ones in real life do have the newer dashboard and newer steering wheel that I really liked using. From a driver perspective, they were really cool and really easy to use. Yes, I know that there are the cynical people along us that I do have to agree with and be like, well, yes, if the electronic screen dies, you are a bit stuffed because there's no gauges, there's no old analog style gauges. Yes, that is right, they're all electronic. However, I do like the electronic ones, and when they work, they are just wonderful to use. They really are. Absolutely wonderful. How far away are we now? We must be close. North Point Park. Oh gosh, we did actually lose a lot of time. I was expecting this to be quite a quick, swift and easy run. I was expecting us to be done by now, but yeah, we do seem to have got quite unlucky with it, to be honest, with these traffic lights. Usually, on the past few videos, we've sort of breezed through it. So this is quite odd, I will say. Very odd. At least we get to admire the livery a little bit more. I do really like this livery. As someone that's been driving around Sheffield and wandering around Sheffield recently, on the weekends, seeing 5212, seeing that going round in its new colours, it looks absolutely gorgeous. It really, really does, and they stand out so well. I mean, recently we had one of our first nice and sunny, warm Saturdays of the year, and a good friend of mine was driving the 272, left the interchange with full and standing load, and it was so nice to see, because it was the essence of what old Hulleys that I used to work for was, where it was on a Saturday, the buses were really busy, really nice and friendly driver, positive vibes, everybody wanted to be there, everybody was happy, nice, clean, modern bus. And it was just so nice to watch. It really, really was. And it really brought the proper essence of Hulleys. It is that community spirit, positive sort of vibes with it, keeping going. And yeah, the bus ended up late at the end of it because there's so many people and all that stuff. And later on in the day, it did end up late, but mileage wasn't missed, the trip still ran, and people still got where they needed to be, and that was all part of what it was, and it was just really nice to watch. It was really, really was, and it definitely put a smile on my face. It really did put a smile on my face. So it was really nice to see. So I do think a trip out possibly to Castleton when the new image 272 branding was like properly embedded in and all of that lot. I do think that's on the cards. I do think we'll be doing a video up to Castleton and back at some point. I do fancy a trip up there, to be honest, very soon. By the time this video comes out, I'll probably already been there. But I do really fancy a run up there, to be honest. It's been a while. It's been a long while. We're on a 907 only section of this route. This is exciting. Oh no, we're on the 404A as well, I think. Yeah. Just saw the 907 sign, unless they've just joined back onto us.
Hi.
At least we are catching up a little bit of time. Goodness me, this is a tightly timed school run. Very tightly timed. I was expecting to be early and having to wait places. This is very much taken by surprise. Positive surprise. That's taken me by surprise. As I say, this Adstow project is still a work in progress. As I've said in every video I've filmed on this, the fact that it is still a work in progress does obviously mean that what you are seeing is not representative of the final product. I'm going to try and I want to display something on the destination line if I can. But this is not a full representation of the final product. This is still a work in progress. This is one person's personal project, and it very, very much is their sort of like full heart and soul has gone into this. A lot of time and effort has gone into this. A lot of love has gone into this to sort of try and make it what it is. Bear with me just a second. I'm going to try and get this to work, see if it makes a difference. So this is someone's personal project. They've been working on this for years. So it isn't finalised. There are still bits that need sorting. There are still bits that you may have seen AI behaving badly, bits of scenery that you look at and go, that probably is going to be changed and bits like that, or something that's not finalised. This is a work in progress, so again, it does not represent that final product. I can very much guarantee that when this map is released, it will be absolutely stunning. It will be absolutely perfect. It will be even more amazing than it currently is. That I do think is really going to be hard to achieve because it is absolutely amazing. Bits like these HOF files, I think will be sorted. I don't quite know why I'm having difficulty with them, so my apologies for that. These will all be sorted, and it will be even more truly wonderful than it currently is. There we go, so we do have a blind on. I just thought it'd be best actually ending with a destination blind on the bus. We're not going to do the run to the depot. I do think that was enough. We might do a dead run to the depot at some point in the future. If people are interested in watching that, I'm quite down for doing a run like that. But for now, we'll manoeuvre the bus nicely into the sunlight, and we will end our video off there. So I do hope you have enjoyed this video. Apologies, as I say, for the destination blind just being the desk blind. I don't quite know why it's not worked. It'll get sorted by the time this is released, and probably when we're in our next updates and bits, my next few videos on this. After we've taken a bit of a break, it'll be sorted. It is just typical that it wanted to work for the town centre blind and not the school, and I don't quite know why. So again, my apologies for that. But I do hope you've enjoyed the video anyway. It's been nice to have a little drive of the Hulleys by High Peak buses livery, the repaint pack. You can download this repaint pack for free. It's not train sims. You can download it for free. There's no purchase price. So it is a free download. Is this? I will link it in the description below. We might have a little drive with 5210 because that livery does look slightly different, because it does look a little bit different in real life at the moment. If you are interested in seeing a video with that and me telling a few more Hulleys of Baslow and Hulleys by High Peak bus stories and bits like that, do let me know, because I'm very much down for that. Yeah, I do hope you've all enjoyed this. It's been really nice to have a little drive with a Hulleys bus. It's been a long time since I've driven a Hulleys bus now. It's been a year. So it does feel really nice to actually virtually drive one. I do hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't, then do be sure to click that like button, as that way more people can find the video and enjoy it like you have. If you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the Simulation Section YouTube channel for more content like this from the Train Simulator and OMSI 2 Bus Simulator worlds, with videos usually up to twice a week one video from OMSI and one video from Train Sim a week, although sometimes it does fluctuate because it's just me, one person. So sometimes, as I say, we might do a couple of OMSI videos a week, we might do a couple of Train Sim videos a week, and there might be just one video a week if I'm a little bit busy. You can also go and check out my main channel and more central for my real life content, including videos on the launch of Hulleys by High Peak buses, where I got exclusive access behind the scenes of the depot before it opened, and a network review where we took a little trip on their little bus network around the Amber Valley, the Crouch network of services. Once again, thank you all for watching. Thank you for your continued support towards the channel, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Bye for now. Bye.